How freaking dope. Or if I was Australian, I would say keen. Or if I was a much younger man, I would say slaps. Which I'm glad I'm not a younger man because I do not care for that word, or I have no idea why that word is popular. Please, somebody out in the comments below. I don't get it. I just don't get it. But I am digressing. This is a reaction video to the release of the Triumph. I wanted to wait till I had you guys, my real friends, right? My real life friends on the internet to watch it with. Awkward moment over. Let's get into the video. Oh, and Joey Savatgy, he's not allowed to race the 2024 Supercross Championship in the 250 class for Triumph. Would Triumph signed him if they would have known that? I don't know. He's going to wait for 2024 motocross, but I'll get into some of those rules as well. But unfiltered, haven't seen it before. Let's watch this release video. Oh, the bike, right off the bat, you kind of want to maybe say it's a black KTM gas. You know, just, I know some of the things I've seen, everyone has been going with that. So we'll see here, right? Oh, I can see Dirt Star. So comes with a little bit better rims than just typical standard, which that is nice because anybody that goes semi-fast, the first thing you do is you oval out the front wheel, especially when it's super soft. Like, could we have a bike come standard with A60s? Just would be nice.
Welcome to the launch of the new TF250X.
This guy, is it just me or is it finally you get to see his face for a couple times as the MXGP announcer? And I totally had a different picture in my head of what this gentleman looked like. So it's nice just to have, I mean, he started doing this with the World Supercross and I would think like maybe the Paris Supercross. Guy's a fantastic announcer. It'd be cool if he even did a couple of them American stuff with AMA Supercross and motocross. Right?
Triumph's brand new 250cc four-stroke competition motocross bike. It's all new, it's all Triumph, and it's all in. Let's take a look.
It's a shorter exhaust, it looks. You guys remember the KX450 or a couple years ago? This sucker was massive. You know, the track looks like. The new Alpine Star gear does look sick too. All black, this looks great. And Arai helmets just look like they haven't changed at all.
The TF250X is an incredible bike. This is the bike that we set out to build. When you talk about the chassis, the powertrain, the components, it's the best of everything that you could ever want. And whether you're a professional rider or an amateur rider, you will not be disappointed. I love this bike. It's been such an honor to be a part of a project with such an iconic brand.
They're spending some money to have some of the ambassadors, especially the GOAT. I've talked a little bit about this on my podcast, where you have guys like RV, and I mean, I guess Dungey has stayed with the brand, but most guys transfer over to a different brand after they retire, and you just... It's a little bit confusing because you remember the guy winning all the championships on that. I mean, Carmichael's definitely one of them, but the younger guys that say slaps, not that I'm making fun of you guys, I don't understand it. They wouldn't know how many championships Carmichael won on different brands because it just wasn't their time, right? So eventually people forget about that stuff, but us old guys, anybody over the age of 30, it's just awkward.
Triumph is all in on absolutely every aspect of this project. Nothing has been done by halves. This is not a rebadged version of another machine. This is a ground-up new design.
It's got a fat bomb on it, at least the header pipe. And that'd be cool to see some wider foot pegs. I'm just kind of nitpicking, just briefly.
Brand new racing
no skid plate. That's
and
a bummer.
unique aluminium chassis.
If you case a
together
giant,
delivering
shut up. If you case a giant ass jump, it's kind of nice to have the skid plate because the bike will move over there. If you don't, it kind of just stops you. Aluminum chassis. Okay. So it is not like a gas or Husky.
A class-leading power-to-weight ratio. And the best of the best components fitted out of the crate.
All
coming together to deliver the perfect package. Triumph's world-class engineers working alongside champions of the motocross world. From the GOAT himself, Ricky Carmichael, to 5-time world champion Ivan Cervantes, plus an all-star cast of racing legends in Super Motocross and MX2. These guys know a thing or two about what it takes to win, and they've brought every bit of their experience to this new project. Triumph is all in terms of support and keeping you racing. With a brand new network of specialist off-road centers, a new riding gear partnership with Alpine Stars, and an industry-leading new parts supply and ordering system. Of course, you also benefit from Triumph's enviable reputation for quality and reliability, with well over 1 million Triumphs sold.
Okay, just to make a silly joke, have you ever seen somebody on the highway that is in the aero position doing like 65 miles an hour on their street bike? I don't know. I can understand if you were like on a 50cc Eaton because you're going about 30 miles faster than the motorcycle can actually go, so it's got to be hopped up. But I always think it's funny. It's always funny. You want to then get up there in the car and tailgate them so you can draft them because they're drafting so well.
Let's have a closer look.
In the triple clamps, it looked like the triple clamps might have been almost those, what are they, X-Trig type where they're split in half. Those things are nice because you hate, whenever you buy a stock bike that has standard triple clamps on it, when you tip over and then the front wheel's all cockeyed, it is a bummer. It just sucks. Even a moto, you got to come back, you got to unloosen them, untighten them, and then move it back together. Just pain in the rear for sure.
Some of the highlights of the bike.
Dude, I want that gear. That gear is sick. Do I have to buy the bike to get the gear? Powerful engine. All right, let's see some dyno stuff. Okay, they're doing the whole Apple thing where they say, hey, this sucker is 2 times the performance, but we're not going to release any benchmarks. You're like, okay, I must believe you, but then it goes into the realm of the First Amendment that kind of gives you the ability to lie, right? You can say whatever the heck you want, but I'm not saying that this is a bad motorcycle. It's just, it's marketing. And they're doing a good job. That's nice. I do like the header pipe. Are they going to have... Is it going to have a plug in the back? Because that's like the first thing you remove is you take the damn backfire screen out of the damn pipe. Because, yeah, there's a couple... half horsepower. Full titanium. That's nice. Throttle body. Vented airbox already. Cool. .48mm forks. KYB suspension. Okay. Your coating on it? No, the triple clamps did not look like they were the S-Trig. I do like the Brembos. Those things are amazing brakes. 260 front. Okay. The Dirt Start rims are like a step above stock. Still, if you're anybody that is really hard on bikes, you're going to want stronger rims. The lock-on grips have just changed the sport, right? Have you ever remember scraping that stuff off? You just wanted to buy a whole new throttle tube because it was awful. Absolutely awful. So going to be an app. Oh, maximum traction out of the gate. Launch control. This is what I want to know. Made a video a while back about what the heck was this? And ooh, we got to find out. Launch control. So it might retard the motor, right? So that you can just be there, have it pinned, and then dump the clutch. And here you go. Take all the actual skill out of it. Enhanced traction control, launch control. Oh, dude, it comes standard? That's badass. That's nice. That's actually super freaking cool. Right? So you get to you practice and you find out what it works best for you, and then you keep the RPMs up to that particular thing. So, you're just taking some variables out of it, of the rider, the mistakes. Clutchless upshifting between second and fifth gear. Oh, damn. Quick shift, man. Woo. Woo. Okay, but you don't shift down, right? There's no shift button, which that could, if there was a shift down button, you might be like, what the heck, But this is basically power shifting, but even better because it's going to do it with electronic timing to kill it so that you don't get caught on a gear. Street bikes have had it for freaking ever with quick shift. It's about damn time dirt bikes are starting to get some of the technology, because way back when Carmichael was testing out the whole fuel injection, whenever he went upside down scrubbing or a whip, the bike would kill out and kind of die, which was why the whole fuel injection was do we need this? It's kind of creepy, kind of scary. Nobody wants the bike to die, especially when you're upside down. But street bikes have had it forever, but their lean angle is similar nowadays in MotoGP because of how low they're getting. But here, I'm digressing. The quick shift is badass, right? Just badass that you have it. But it's not, just second to fifth. Can't shift from first to second is how I'm reading it. So, but with that, on the start, nobody starts in first, so you'd already be in second. So after you let the clutch down, then it says ra-da-da-da-da-da. Rider selectable traction control. Okay, so that's really going to retard the motor a bunch on the track in case you're in real slippery conditions, real hard pack. Basically any track in Australia. For their Supercross, it was a joke. Your guys' tracks looked so slippery. 2-map option with feeling and emotion. That's cool. Dude, there is a lot of standard, nice equipment on this stuff. This is what I loved about the Yamaha. The Yamaha actually having some sort of data with your cell phone to where you can change maps, and then you integrate a social aspect to that to be like, hey, Ricky Carmichael was down here, or Ryan Villapoto at Glen Helen, this is the map he uses, try it out. It's got 59,000 upvotes to it. Oh, that's a great map. Oh, here's a Hopper one. Oh, that one's got 10,000 downvotes. Don't use that one. It's probably the best map, but anyway, that is something that they needed. The Austrian bikes, it always sucked having to go into the bike shop to freaking jet your motorcycle. Come on. It's 2023, 2024 for the bike. Give us some technology. Dashboard, settings, easy reliable starting. Wow. Honestly, I am super impressed with the whole package.
When we first announced that we were coming into the off-road world, I think initially there was a lot of surprise, but also a lot of excitement. People might not be aware of Triumph's history of being involved in the Moto2 Championship, for example. So since 2019, Triumph has been the sole engine supplier in Moto2. All of that...
Okay. Just because of all this, how badass is the Ducati going to be? Just... right, I'm saying it's going to be another level. Yes, it probably will be a $14,000 to $15,000 motorcycle. probably due to inflation and everything when they decide to release it in 2026 or beyond. But it's going to level up all the other guys. The guys that got away with stuff. Suzuki, that got away with not doing anything for a decade, might have to actually put an electric start on. So guys keep buying the bike. Kenny can only do so much to sell those things, right? Can only do so much. And then you've got Honda, and Yamaha's doing a pretty good job. But the whole Austrian bikes, they were the best. They had the best R&D. They seem like they've kind of lowered it where it's not as much of an evolution every cycle now. Like, there's just not that much more R&D going into those bikes. Well, now that these guys are lifting it up, and I'm assuming Ducati as well, and then with Stark coming out, man, we're going to get some really sweet motorcycles here. This is great for the consumer. I am stoked. Like, I'm going to buy another couple bikes once I move back to Colorado, once I'm done with this Ironman stuff, and it's going to be the perfect time to buy a bike.
That capability that we've built up over the years in our engineering and manufacturing now enables us to enter a new and exciting segment. So the bike that we've developed is the perfect balance of weight, agility, and performance.
Would be nice if
they
didn't say really air fork. I don't believe they said air fork. Did they say spring? So many.
Triumph's built its brand over the last 30 years based on engineering excellence and quality at the heart of its products. On this project, our internal teams have been working with some of the best minds in the racing world to ensure that everything that they're learning on the race bikes is being fed back into our OE projects. The project's been 4 years.
All right,
getting
I think
from concept.
Now they're just basically talking themselves up. But again, the package looks amazing. Let me know in the comments below if you guys noticed that it was spring or if it was air. I did not catch that. Overall, I am just stoked for the progression of the sport. There's a lot of new money coming into here. Oh, I was talking about the whole Joey Savatgy thing. Okay, so Joey ads. Okay, since Feld won't let me move down to Supercross, even though the point-out rule that moved me out in the first place isn't in effect anymore, he's talking about the new rules. The old rules were basically if you did 3 years and you made like inside the top 10 points, you got booted out. And this is where we saw guys like Jeremy Martin who just deliberately just decide not to finish half the season because they don't want to move out. They want to stay in the 250 class, which is kind of a bummer, right, for the new guys coming in because truthfully, the 250 class is designed to be a starter class for professional racing. And if it's filled with just a crap ton of Mike Browns that are champions that have experience, it's like racing a 65 in the 125 class. You know, you're a 12-year-old racing against grown men. It's just, you're like, it just doesn't compute. And not to mention the cost of a 250 bike. That's still going to be the number one problem is a 450 is much more economically sound just because you don't need to rebuild the bike halfway through the season that you spent 20 grand for. Privateers have a hard time doing that. That's why they end up going for the 450. Mainly riders like Kevin Morantz. He's starting a team of his own. It's a 450 team. Why? Because it's more cost effective because of the motorcycle. And that's maybe where I'm a little bit leaning towards the electric, where that might lower that barrier. Yeah, I know you could say that, well, it starts over 20 grand. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about that. We're talking about the points here. And the points, I kind of agree with them this time around, where if you have won a series and you've been in there for like 3 years, then you can only get a race one more time to defend the series. And then if you've been in there something like 5 years or something and you win, that's your last year, right? But basically, if you are a champion, you move out, you can't come back. And then they've got this rule here that riders who have been advanced to the 450 class through the point championships, they're not eligible for the 250 class, and that's essentially where Joey's at, right? So yeah, Joey is bummed. He's had a lot of bad luck, but this is in fact in the rules. And yeah, I have heard rules are like guidelines. However, they need to stick with what they're doing, because as soon as they let this happen, there's going to be more guys. Never do anything once that you're not willing to do the rest of your life. So it's a bummer, but Joey says he's going to be ready for 2024 motocross. It just sucks because it would have been cool to see a veteran like that in the 250 class on a new motorcycle. They got to just stick with their guns. Till next time, this is Johnny Hopper. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and if you want to, watch the next video. Bra da 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 da.